What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Carolina Crown. Today, going to show you guys a quick tutorial on how to switch out your multi-function switch, aka the turn signal switch, which is this here. A lot of people get confused when they hear multi-function switch, but your multi-function switch, they call it that because it provides multiple functions, such as windshield wiper, high beam, low beam, turn signal, and it also activates your hazards here. So we're going to get into the step-by-step on how to remove this, how to replace it, and then, of course, test it at the end. Just for tutorial purposes, there is nothing wrong with my switch, but I am replacing it with a brand new one just because I want to. And because I wanted to make content on how to do so, because I've heard a few people having issues, various different types of issues, whether it be hyper flash, even when the brake and the lights all over the car are completely fine. I've also heard issues with the brake lights, which a lot of people don't realize this. If you ever run into a problem with a Crown Vic where, say, for example, you mash your brake pedal and you look in your rearview mirror and you see that the third brake light back there is functioning, but the bottom two are not illuminating, 9 times out of 10, it's your multi-function switch. If it was the brake pedal switch, which would be found on the brake pedal down below, typically you're not going to see any of the lights light up whatsoever. So if you're just having bottom brake light problems, check your multi-function switch. Let's get started. All right, guys, a couple of tools you're going to need for this job. Ignore the screwdriver, that's not going to be needed. 7mm socket, a 5.5mm socket. Don't ask me why Ford decided to do that instead of a flat 6mm socket for the lower portion of the shroud assembly. But yes, it is a 5.5 mil. Before you even get started, if you don't have one, go buy one before you even start tackling this job, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get it out. Obviously, I'm using a power tool. Ratchet will suffice as well, along with an extension. And because I don't have a 1/4 drive socket, I have a 3/8. I have an adapter on here as well. Another thing you're going to need is a T20 Torx bit. Whenever we remove the shroud assembly in order to gain access and remove the actual multi-function switch, you're going to need this. All right, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and come down here and move out this bolt. I already broke it loose from our parking brake release switch here, and this assembly slides right down and comes straight out. You can see the cutout in this assembly here. Once you pull that out, you can just simply pull down on it. It's held in by plastic clips around, and don't be afraid to apply a little bit of pressure to get it off. If you want to leave that last tab connected over there like I'm going to do, that's fine, because I really don't want to have parts just laying everywhere. So I'm just going to leave it dangling just like that, pulled off enough so that I can access the entire shroud. Now you can see that it's fully exposed and able to easily be disconnected. Okay, the very next step you're going to want to do is remove the steering wheel lever that allows the steering wheel to flex up and downward. Turn it counterclockwise. We're going to keep rotating it until we have it removed. There we go. Not too much to it. Set that over here to the side. Okay, now we're going to come up under here and remove these 5.5mm bolts. There should be a total of 3 of them. Also, guys, you'll have to forgive me for earlier. I failed to mention that the bolt that holds in the emergency parking brake release lever is a 7mm. Now that we've removed these 5.5mm bolts, and forgive me, I definitely need to vacuum this car. It's been a minute. Daily driver and been busy. I haven't had time to. After you get all this stuff removed, you can simply pull the shroud assembly off from the top portion of it. Just like that. Now your bottom portion is exposed without issue. Do the same thing for the top, and it should just slide right out. And now your turn signal switch, aka multi-function switch, is fully exposed. You're going to notice within here, there's going to be a T20 Torx bit. And I guess I will be utilizing that screwdriver at the beginning of the video, because I originally had thought that I had a socket that took the T20 Torx bit, but unfortunately I don't. So we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 screws, top and bottom, and then our entire assembly should be able to pop straight out. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this screw. And again, there's a screw down there straight ahead, as you can see. So remove those 2, and your entire assembly will slide right out. Once you got those screws out, like I said, this whole assembly will slide right out, and you'll be able to get into the rear connectors. There's going to be 3 connectors in here, And they have little push tabs on them, so they're quick and easy to remove. You go ahead and push in and remove this one here, as well as this extra push tab here. So that's going to be a total of 3 connectors. Remove those and pull your assembly straight out, and we're going to throw the new one in. After your turn signal switch has been removed, go ahead and come over here to your box. Of course, I went OEM with this one and got a brand new Motorcraft multifunction switch. So we're going to take it out of the packaging here. And of course, installation will be reverse. So once I have this assembled and back in order, then I'll get on here and talk about the finishing results. All right, guys, and just a rundown review. Make sure to secure your 7mm bolt back up with your emergency park release. Make sure to replace your bolts in the shroud assembly, the 5.5 mils. Don't forget to put it on your steering wheel release. Test it with the car off first. Make sure you have everything assembled, all the bolts going back exactly the way that you took them off. And at this point now, we can go ahead and actually test it to make sure everything's working appropriately. And of course, the best way to test it after you have replaced your multifunction switch is to trigger your hazard lights, come around, make sure they're working. And it appears as though everything is working exactly the way it's supposed to be without issue. You can also further test your turn signals one at a time, and I recommend backing up to a flat wall surface so that you can match the brake lights and be able to simultaneously see them to see if they're, and make sure they're still working. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you ever have problems where your bottom 2 brake lights are not functioning, however the one in the third brake light in the windshield is, my culprit would always be the multifunction switch. Sometimes these things short circuit and you have issues. Like I said, I'm not having an issue with mine, but apparently in the Panther community, it's a relatively common issue. So watch out for that. If you see your bottom brake lights go out, always check that multifunction switch. And of course, if all 3 lights are out, point toward the brake light switch that would be on the brake pedal. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one.